Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In this lesson we are going to talk about exponents. So now we call this one in this expression as power and this one as base. So this power is general name of this one. This one can be called as exponent too. Right, how do we read this one? We read like this: a power to n, a power of n. Okay, a power to n, a power of n. Doesn't matter. What does it mean? It means that you take this number, multiply by itself amount of this number. Means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. See, 1 2 3 4 5 3's are there. Amount of this number, right? Please do not confuse. Students are confusing and they do like this. They do 3 times 5. No, don't do that one. Don't say it. It is common mistake. Okay, so when we have like 2 and 3, we have special names for them. When you have power 2, this is called square 2. You can say power 2 or square. When you hear square, that means power 2, right? And for 3 too. And we don't have any special name for any other powers. Not for 4, 5, 6, just 3 and 2. So that means 4 times 4, 16. This is square, special name. And this one 4 times 4 times 4. What you do? 4 times 4, 16. 16 times 4, 64. That will call as cube. Okay, so the other thing I want to tell you is that negative sign. If this negative sign is like this under this power, so if this one is even number, the result will be positive. If the power is odd number, the result will be negative. But pay attention please there. This power should cover the sign. I will show you there if it doesn't cover. So where is the proof then? Proof is there. This means negative 5 times negative 5. 5 times 5, 25. And from integers, the same signs in multiplication will be positive. See, that's the proof. For all the even numbers, the result is going to be positive when you have negative. If you have positive, it's positive already. And for this one, see, look, negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. That will be 5 times 5, 25 times 5, 125. And now sign. From this one, it is going to be positive, the same sign. And positive, negative will be negative. Right. So that will be negative 125. All the even, odd numbers will be a negative sign. Okay. So when it doesn't cover, when the power doesn't cover the sign doesn't change. Doesn't matter whether you have even or odd number. See, that will be negative 5 times 5, 25. And the same thing for that one, negative 125. See, it doesn't cover. If it doesn't cover, sign doesn't change. If it covers, you say even for even numbers, positive, odd numbers, negative. Right, now let's pass to our other properties for exponent. So my other property is that any number power 1 is itself, such as 7 power 1 is 7, 5 power 1, 5. Doesn't matter what number you have. 1001 power 1 is 1001. Doesn't matter what you have. Any number power 1 is itself. And that is important. Any number power 0 is 1. Except 0 power 0. 0 power 0 is undefined. Alright, 0 power 0 is undefined. But all the other numbers, power 0 is going to be 1. See, 100, 5 power 1, 0, 1. 100 power 0, 1. and the negative. See, the power doesn't cover the negative. Negative will stay the same. Remember, I told you. So 0, 3 power 0 will be 1, and there it covers. And as you know, 0 is an even number too. That will be positive 1. Right. Okay, this 0 power 0 undefined. So the next property is that when you change the place of numerator and denominator, what do I mean? I mean that if you take your number to denominator or your this denominator to numerator, you will change the sign of the exponent. You don't need to swap. You don't have to. You can just take this one to there or this one to there when you need in questions. So that means when you take this one to down, that will be 1 over a n times a negative n. And now let's take this one to up. That will be a negative n over a negative n. All right. All those expressions are the same. This, all of them. All right. So now even you would be able to write like this too. am times a minus n power n. Right. So now when you have negative sign, see this one is over 1. Right. You take this one down and this up. That will be 1 over 3 power 2, which is going to be 1 over 9. That means this one will go to up negative 2. That will be 3 power 2 now, which is 9. See, from there took up, from there took down, and I changed sign for both of them. There it became 1 over 9. This one became 9. Right. In multiplication, if you have the same basis, attention, if you have the same basis, you add powers to each other. That will be a m plus n. The result will be that. So for example, the same basis, 3 power 10 plus 15. That will give me 3 power 25. Right, for this one too, the same thing. So that will be 2, 4 plus negative 1. Attention, this is negative. And from integer, this will be negative, because when you have the opposite signs, this will be negative. And you subtract to each other, that will be 2 power 3. And this is a small number, you can write it 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So this is big, you don't need to calculate, you can leave like that. But this one, you should calculate. It is easy, huh? Right. Now, let me solve one question for you about this one. Okay, my question is that x power to 1 over 3 to x power to 1 over 4. Okay, multiplication, the same basis, add them up. That will give me x 1 over 2 plus 1 over 4. According to fractions, you equalize the numerator, multiply by 2, multiply by 2. That will give me 2 power 2 over 4 plus 1 over 4. Add numerators to each other, x power to 3 over 4. That will be your answer. Right. So now if you have division with the same basis, what we do? Remember, in multiplication we added powers to each other. Now division is inverse operation of multiplication. We subtract powers to each other. So now a power m over a power n is a power m divided by a power n. They are the same thing. This line means division, right? So you subtract this bottom from top. That will be a m minus n, or division. So I see there 5 5. Subtract powers to each other. That will give me 5 power 2. 5 power 2 is 5 times 5. Remember, this one can be called as square of 5 2. That will be 25. Right. So now my question is 3 power 7 over 3 power negative 2. So remember what I do? I subtract this one from this. That will be 3 7 minus negative 2. Okay, see, negative sign. From integers, that will be positive. So which is going to be 3 7 power 7 plus 2, which is 3 power 9. And you leave like this. You don't need to calculate that one. If you are using calculator, it is okay. You just write 3 power 9 and calculator will give you an answer. Otherwise, you leave like this, 3 power 9. Right. Alright, now, if you have different bases and the same power, this can be written like this too. A over B bracket power m. If you have A power m over B power m, this can be written as A over B power m. So where do we use this one? See, for example, for this question, see, 5 power 7 over 15 power 7. It is easy to calculate like this. 5 over 15 power 7. There is another method too, but if you use this one, it is going to be easier. That will be 1, that will be 3, simplify to each other, which is going to be 1 over 3 power 7. And this one is power of 1 and 3. 1 power 7, 1. And 3 power 7 is going to be 3 power 7. Alright, my next property is that if you have power of power, I wrote just 2 powers, but it might be 3, 4, 5, doesn't matter how many you have. You just multiply powers to each other. If it would have like power x, you would multiply by x, m times n times x. Right, it doesn't matter how many power you have. So for example, that's the power of power. You multiply those powers to each other. That will be 2 power 5 times 3. 2 power, this is 15. 2 power 15 will be your answer. Okay. So now I gave you all properties. I'm going to solve mixed questions from all those properties. So for example, if I have like this question, 64 times a power 8 over 16 times a power 6. So you simplify this and this first. Divided by 16, 1. Divided by 16, 4. Then I see the bases are the same. You subtract powers to each other. That will be 4 times a power 8 minus 6. From there, I will get 4 times 8 minus 6, which is power 2. That will be your answer. 4 times a square, or 4 times a power 2. So my next question is x power to negative 3 times y power 3 over x power 3 times y power to negative 3. I will use the same basis separately. So now remember, I was subtracting the powers to each other. That will give me x, see, negative 3 minus, that is positive 3, times y 3 minus negative 3. Right, so from integers that will be positive. There, the same signs, you add them up and use negative sign. Normally bigger number sign, but they are the same. That means use any of the signs of the numbers. That will be x power 3 plus 3, 6, negative 6 times y power 3 plus 3, 6. That will be your final answer. X power negative 6 times y power 6 is your final answer. Right, please don't confuse, huh? You say this minus this and this minus this. I guess students are confusing this one. They say like that. They do negative 3, positive 3, and they say x power 0. And for this one, the same thing. They say y power 0 and 1, 1, 1 times 1, 1 they said. But no, this is not 1. Say the solution. Please be careful. Alright, now let's pass to our next question. So my question is x power 4 times y power 7 times z power 2 over x power 3 times y. There is no power, that means 1. Please don't say 0. Students are confused that one too. They say 0. No, it is 1. When there is no power, it is 1. Because see, the number power 1 was itself. See, y power 1 is going to be y. You can write like this or like that, like y or y power 1. Okay, so now I have there the same power bases. I mean, that will be 4 minus 3, x power 4 minus 3, and y 7 minus 1, power 7 minus 1. And z, there is no anything about that from bottom or top. You leave it the same then, z power 2. So that will give me x 4 minus 3, 1. And you don't need to write 1. You can just leave as x. And y 7 minus 1 will be 6, and z power 2. That will be your final answer. Alright, now our next question is 3 times x power 15 over 24 times x power negative 10. So for like this question, when you have negative, you have to solve it, 2 methods to solve that question. Remember, I had a negative sign in one question more. I didn't show in there, but let me show in this question. The first method is that now you are going to simplify them first. Divided by 3, divided by 3. Then it will be 1 over 8 times. So you subtract this from that. That will give you x power 15 minus negative 10. Right. So from integer that will be positive. That will give you 1 over 8 x power to 15 plus 10, 25. And this one is over 1 this time. This time this will be x power to 25 over 8. This is my final answer. So that was first method. So my second method is that you remember when you take any number letter from denominator to numerator or numerator to denominator, you change sign of the power. So before that, simplify this and this again. That will be 1 over 8. 1 over 8 times, that will be on the top now, x power 15 times, I take this one to up, it was negative 10, will be positive 10 now. So I got multiplication there. According to multiplication, we add powers to each other. That will give me x power 15 plus 10 over 8. And 15 plus 10 will be 25. X power 25 over 8 will be my final answer. Now it is up to you to use whether first or second method. Right. So my next question is that a power 9 over a power 2. I'm going to show you 2 methods for this question too. That will be the first one like that. 8, the same power, and subtract I mean the same base, subtract powers to each other. 9 minus 2, that will be 8 power 7. So you the most probably won't see that one in options. What do you do? This number should be prime number. This number should be prime number. Now think, 8 is, how it can be written in a prime number? Isn't 8 2 power 3? Yes, 2 power 3 power 7. So now what I got? I got power of power. So that will be 2 power 3 times 7. Remember, we were multiplying power to power. That will be 2 power 21. Right, now let me show you second method. So in my second method, you can write 8 in base of 2 before doing some operation. So this one will be 2 power 3 power 9 over 2 power 3 power 2. From there you multiply them. That will be 2 power 27 over 2 power 6. So now from division you subtract powers to each other. That will be 27 minus 6. So 27 minus 6 is going to be 21. You will get the same answer. Alright, so thank you so much for watching the video. Have a good day. Bye.